Hello guys and welcome. Nice to see you all here. How are you? I hope that you're well. As we come into December, we're coming towards the end of the year. But today, on a very positive note, well, we've got an exciting live lesson all about this, the environment. We're going to be looking at an overview of the environment, the problems, the solutions, and focus in on renewable energy. That's all coming up in just one moment.
It's time. Yo, yeah, go get your coffee. It's time to join the Key Speaking Academy. It's time for a live lesson, fun games and idioms. Go get your tea, go get your coffee. It's time to join the Key Speaking Academy. It's time for a live lesson, fun games and idioms.
Fun games and idioms. We will be looking at idioms, vocabulary, some listening, some fun and games as we go through. As I mentioned, today our topic is about the environment. We're going to look at different aspects of that, different activities over the next 2 hours. So if you haven't got your coffee or your tea, you might go ahead and get some ready to get you through this session. So excited to see you here and looking forward to go through this. If you're new here and it's your first time, welcome. In a moment, I'll just go through the different activities so you're clear about what's going to happen. You can participate by writing in the chat and saying hello, and then I can click on some of you like this and I can bring you up onto the screen. So good morning, Cesare Tata. Nice to see you here. Ben Fatum, Amina, also lovely to see you here. Julia, as always, a pleasure to have you here. Nice to see you. And Marek, good morning. Elvan says it's first time, so I'm excited that you're excited. That's great. Hello, Anna. Lovely to see you here again, all the way from Siberia. Lovely. Keep calm. It's difficult to keep calm when I'm so excited. Good morning, Paymam, Hadadi. Nice to see you here. Tajina, lovely to see you here. I hope you're all here live as well. Hello, nice to see you. And from Thailand, we've got Kam Pakjira. So from all over the world, lovely to see you here, guys. Very, very nice. Welcome. Today's lesson, let me just explain what we're going to do, okay? So I'm going to go through and talk about the topic of the environment. Very green, partly. What we'll do at the beginning is look at some vocabulary. I'm actually going to give an overview of the topic and then dive in, go into detail on some of the vocabulary, key vocabulary that you will need. After that, we're going to do a listening activity. I'm going to test your skills and develop your skills so you can understand better when you listen to English, especially natural conversations. We'll be looking at some idioms. What on earth is that? That's one of the idioms today. We'll be finding out about those idioms to talk about the environment. I've got a lucky draw result because you may remember last week it was Black Friday and the people who bought one of my courses on Thursday, they went into a lucky draw and to win a mock test with me, a live mock test. So today I'm actually going to do the lucky draw and we'll choose the winner who will get a 30-minute Zoom call with me. I'll do a mock IELTS test or a level test if you're not doing IELTS and just show you your weaks and your strengths and your weaknesses, excuse me. After that, I'll be doing a sample answer or a model answer for a part 2 question because looking at IELTS on this topic. And then we'll finish up with Kahoot, which is a fun game to review some of the vocabulary. So make a note of the vocabulary that you're going to be looking at today to make sure you don't forget all of that. So that is what we've got. Let me just check in with you guys. Let's see how you're doing. Sana Izar, all the way from Pakistan. Good to see you. Fabienne, all the way from France, Vendée in France. I don't know Vendée. I wonder where it is. Talking of French, Des Nuits Blanches. Hello from Tehran. Lovely to see you here. Nikita from Ukraine. Lovely as well. And we've got Emanuela from the UAE, United Arab Emirates. Great. Janatul, all the way from Bangladesh. Navid Net from Nigeria. Good guy. Guys, you are from all over the world. Absolutely amazing. Alex, closer to home, Rome, Europe. Close to me-ish, kind of. I mean, I'm in Spain at the moment. Although I'm from Manchester in England, I live in Spain. Hicham, good to see you here as always. Hello there. Nice to see you, Sagor. Great. And we've got Azerbaijan, who's from Azerbaijan. Very funny. Great. And Victoria, all the way from China, I'm guessing. Okay. Payman says, I want some idioms. I want them now. Okay. Lovely, guys. Lovely to see you. So listen, to start up, here's the first question for you, right? I'm interested, which environmental issues do you care about? Which environmental issues do you care about? Let me, before you answer that, I'm going to give you a very brief overview, actually. Let me show you this. And what we can do, actually, Burns, if you're there, if you can share the link to this. It's the Gamma link. I made this with Gamma, which is an interesting AI tool. It's a quick overview of environmental issues, and it looks a bit like this, right? I'm going to present it. Oh, I'm going to present it like this. Da-da-da-da. Not like that, like that. Not like that. Come on. Why does it not want to work? It never wants to work. Okay, let's try again. Environmental issues. Some of the key environmental issues are pollution, climate change, overpopulation, waste, energy, and biodiversity. Great. Burns has just shared the link if you want to look at this at the same time. But pollution, I'll go through them one by one, okay? So environmental issues, let's look at pollution first. Pollution has many aspects. It can be air pollution, water pollution, or land pollution. Air pollution, of course, harmful gases. Notice these great collocations, right? Industrial emissions. So that's the gas and the fume from the industry, from the factories. We've got water pollution, contamination, another word for pollution. So a good synonym of pollution, contamination. Land pollution is the degradation of land. Degradation just means to degrade. So you're making the grade lower. If you think about a grade at school, when you're taking an exam, you get a good grade or a low grade. So if your grade is degraded, lower graded, it makes it worse. So the degradation means to make worse, right? The degradation of land. Easy way to remember it. Due to human activity, right? Of course. So we've got that. Pollution is a key issue. Overpopulation is another, which is a straining Earth's resources. To strain, right, is to force or put pressure on. So putting pressure on the Earth's resources leads to health issues, food and water shortages, increased waste, habitat destruction. So overpopulation is a big problem. Waste disposal. So disposal is to get rid of or to throw away. Waste disposal, another word for waste in English, in the UK, is rubbish. In America, garbage, refuse, litter, different words. Some of the key topics you may talk about are recycling, land use, so that's the proper management of landfills and waste disposal, food waste, throwing food away, like restaurants, and plastics and packaging. Clearly, when you go shopping, all your food has so much packaging. Then we're looking at developing sustainable alternatives. What a great collocation. Sustainable alternatives. Lovely, right? Meaning that they won't damage the environment. They can go on for a long time. Sustain, to keep going. Sustainable alternatives. Nice collocation. To single-use plastics. And your single-use plastics, for example, when you go into Starbucks and you get your coffee, your cup is, you use it one time and you throw away. The little stirrer you use and you throw away. Single-use plastics. These plastics you use one time. Not good at all. Which is why Starbucks encourage you to take your own flask or cup and fill up there. It's more sustainable, right? You don't damage the environment. Single-use plastics, another good collocation. So all of that is around the waste issue, right? The fourth one was climate change. Now, you know all about this. Some key collocations: global warming. We're getting, the planet is getting hotter. Extreme weather. So the floods, the too much water, right? Flooding the rivers, the storms, the heat waves, where it's hot for a long time, and the sea level rise. Melting ice caps at the North Pole and the South Pole mean that the level of the sea is getting higher and higher. The fifth one, very briefly, is energy. And this is one of the key areas we're going to look at today. Clean energy, renewables, electric vehicles. It's one of our key focuses today because the environment covers so much. So after this overview, we'll focus in on renewables, okay? Finally, we've got biodiversity, protecting the Earth's ecosystem. The ecosystem is the environment that is all connected. So our ecosystem is, I'm looking at the mountains, the rivers, the forest, the sea, the land. It's all connected. It's the area where things live, basically. You've got corals, forests, the Arctic, the ice peaks, icebergs, and the wildlife, and the bees, right? Bees. We're losing the bees, which is tragic. It is a big, big problem. Okay. Great. So that are some of the key environmental issues that we have, okay? I'm just throwing that out there. I'm very interested to know which environmental issues that you care about, okay? Roblox, nice to see you again. Giving a geo class. It is kind of a geography class. Yes, absolutely. But it's just giving an overview there, right? Okay. Mohsen is talking about dropping litter, especially plastic, over the earth. Absolutely. Glass is the best. It's better than plastic. Good. And you can also recycle, right? Sustainability we've been talking about. Yes. Layla says, I'm a bit wary of deforestation as well as a huge bunch of plastics. Yep, absolutely. Very, very true. Hicham says, speaking of the environment, this generation should meet their needs without compromising the future generations to meet their own needs, as well as using sustainable development. Very nice. And I agree. Very, very good. Anna moved to a better country. Okay, you're talking to each other. That's great. Okay. So we've got some ideas. Deforestation. Okay. Keep them coming. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to turn on something. Excellent. So there's a question. Which environmental issues do you care about? Type in the YouTube chat and we'll get them appearing up here on the screen. We've got climate change from Shuvapol, air pollution, deforestation from Haideth, global warming, pollution from Ida, all types from Slobodanka. Wars are very bad for the earth, Marek. Yes. Pollution and climate change, says Lise. People should stop reproducing themselves. Ooh, interesting. Sustainability. Let's have a look. Water shortage, says Nula Amal. Deforestation as well. Smog, says Sana Iza. Azerbaijan, I think all the issues are important. Lob says climate change. Interesting. Julia says, off the top of my head, deforestation is the one that has the egregious and detrimental effect to our environment. Interesting. I like detrimental effect. Very, very nice. Very nice English. Marcus says, droughts from climate change. Yes, very good. Good. Those heat waves, right? Ahmad is just smiling. Nice. Why not, indeed? Okay. Excellent. Some very, very interesting ideas. Keep them coming. And we'll come back and have a look at them. Fabienne talks about food and health. Natalia says growing urbanization is a problem. I think when you're living in a city and there are too many people, absolutely. Valerio says plastic trash everywhere, especially in the sea. It's true. It's a problem. Daniela, yes, I can see you. Nitran talks about climate change, the greenhouse effect, right? Where there's so much carbon dioxide trapped in the environment, and that is killing us and the planet. Massa Kavian talks about global warming. It is all around the earth. Mitchell says energy saving, photovoltaic development. I don't know much about that. Is that to do with batteries, I wonder? Interesting. Ali says pollution caused by industry. Yeah, and also another one here for pollution. Payman talks about animal extinction. So we mentioned biodiversity, and all of that absolutely is a big issue. Imran talks about the rise in temperature. Yeah, absolutely. Lots of problems. This is an interesting one. Overfishing. So we're eating all the fish, and the fish are becoming extinct, especially certain types of fish. But also this problem of the sea level rising, right? And that consumption of fish is related to what Momo Concepta is saying, the consumption pattern, which I think you're referring to the consumerism, that we're consuming so much. I guess there's food, so the import and export of food, which damages the environment, but then also consumption of clothes, what we call fast fashion, which is also environment as well, right? I can't believe why we have deforestation. Well, yes, Elisa Arabi. There are lots of reasons. They're not good, but they do exist. Absolutely. Okay, last one from Zara. Excessive usage of water, carbon, fossil fuel. Right, excessive usage. Nice. Very, very, very nice. Okay. Some funny comments. I'm going to leave those. Let's move on. So I have another question for you, right? And that is, which one is? Oh, yes, this question. Let me just close this for a moment. I'm going to ask you next this question. Which of these environmental issues is the most important? You can just type in the chat, either type in the number or type in the name. So we've looked at 6 big issues, and you've mentioned lots of details around them. Just type in the chat which one is the most important to you. You can type the name or the number, okay? I'll just give you a moment to do that. Right, it's just starting to update. I can see all your comments coming in. Shine Marlin, thank you for that comment. That's great. I'm pleased that the videos are helping you. Climate change seems to be the number one at the moment. A lot of you have put number 4, climate change, but pollution also is quite high up there. Keep your comments coming. Ibrahim says overpopulation is getting worse. I think the software's a bit slow picking up your comments. Pollution causes climate change. Very, very true. Keep voting and we'll see if this updates quickly to get all your ideas. Mohammed Jafari Niasa says energy. So certainly looking like climate change. It's interesting. It's not updating much, is it? Because I can see your comments, but they're not all coming through. But at the moment, climate change seems to be the most important issue to you. Pollution seems to be the second, and energy seems to be the third. The others seem to be less important, but the thing is, as you know, they're all connected, right? Pollution. Overpopulation leads to more pollution, leads to more waste disposal, leads to more energy. More energy is connected to biodiversity, animals becoming extinct. Pollution is connected to biodiversity. All of those. Anyway, that at the moment seems to be the things that are most important, which is very, very interesting. Excellent. Good. I like it. Okay, so a quick summary here for you of some of the key, let's say some of the key issues, okay? I'm just going to make this slightly smaller so it fits on one page. So when we're talking about the environment, I think these are the key issues. Pollution, and we've got these kind of subtopics. So the reason I'm showing you this is if you are preparing IELTS, for writing or speaking, when we talk about the environment, it's good for you to know the different topics and the different subtopics so that in the test, you're not caught by surprise. You go, oh, yes, Keith told me about these subtopics. And you can start learning at least some of the basics of how to talk about these in English. Maybe it's challenging in your own language. When I was preparing the class, I discovered things I didn't know, which are really interesting. So it's not just English, it's information as well, right? So pollution, overpopulation, which is connected with this idea of food shortage, habitat destruction. Habitat just means where you live. Waste disposal, waste, right? Climate change, which includes all of these other ideas. Energy, which includes renewables. This is something we're going to look at today. Biodiversity is just nature, wildlife, extinction, right? Farming animals, fishing too much, etc. All of that. So that's just a very short and simple summary. Do remember, you can get this PDF at the end of the lesson. Well, after about 2 or 3 hours, because I always edit it and tidy it up, then we put it on the website and you can go and get this. If you don't know, let me just show you, because on the website you can see, can I show you? I think I can show you if you don't know. This is for later, right? Later on, if you go to the Keith Speaking Academy, go to the free live lesson, and at the top here, you'll be able to download the PDF of the latest live lesson. So last month we did neighbours. This will change and we'll put up the PDF from today so you can get that, just so you know, right? Excellent, good. I'm just going to close this. Okay, nice. What's next? What's next? I don't know. What's next? Let's find out what's next. I always check my little plan, my lesson plan, as a good teacher does. So we've talked about the whole idea of environment and subtopics. Let's look at vocabulary. In particular, I want to look at renewable energy. That's my focus today. That's our focus, okay? Excellent. Renewable energy. So, first word, surprise, renewable. Renewable. Notice the new, that's the stress, right? Renewable. 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 Renewable energy. Well, renewable energy sources include wind, solar power, things like that. They are sources that can be renewed, right? So to renew is to make new again. So basically, new, re is again, and able is you can. So you can make them new again, because wind, for example, wind, you can renew it, you can make it new again. It never disappears, right? We're never going to run out of wind. There's always wind. There's always sun. So wind and sun are able to renew, renewable. They're renewable, renewable energy, right? That's why it's called renewables. If you know English, you know re is again, able is to make it possible, right? Now, whilst that is an adjective, we often use the word renewables. Renewables, which is the noun in the plural. So instead of saying renewable energy sources, which is quite long, we can just say renewables include wind and solar power, right? It's much easier. So let me add that down here. Renewables. So it's always in the plural if you use it as a noun. Renewables include wind and solar power. And the stress is in the same place. Renewables. So we can talk about renewable energy. So energy from sources that won't run out. They are always being renewed, right? Of course. There are three things we can talk about which are very, very similar. And that's renewable energy, clean energy, and green energy. Now, to all intents and purposes, they're the same. I think in our everyday conversations, we talk about renewable energy, clean energy, green energy. And in your IELTS speaking test, you can use them the same. If you are speaking to a scientist, they will say, they're not exactly the same, right? Not all renewable energy is clean energy or green energy. It's not exactly the same, but don't worry about it. I don't think it's necessary to go into the detail, really. You can use them all the same. For your information, right, the difference is, so renewable energy is energy sources that won't run out, as we mentioned. Clean energy is more about clean, so clean air. So energy from sources that don't release air pollutants. A pollutant is something that pollutes the air, right? You've got to pollute, which is the verb. You've got a pollutant, which is the noun. Countable. And then you've got pollution, which is the noun. Uncountable. Yeah, so to pollute the environment, pollute the air. Pollutant, like CO2, is a pollutant. There are lots of pollutants you can count. Pollution is uncountable, right? It's just generally There's a lot of pollution in the street. There's a lot of pollution in the city. So that's the difference. Clean energy just means clean air. I think the way to remember is clean air, right? So the sources don't release pollutants. Green energy is just energy from natural sources, from the wind, from the sun, from water. Okay. Oh, I do feel like a geography teacher, right? It is a little bit strange, but we can't help it. It's such a unusual topic. It is quite a bit about the detail, right? But I don't want to overwhelm you. Layla says, we strive to use renewable energy, which is not harmful to nature and natural habitats. Brilliant. Hey, you have a new cat. Avatar. Nice. Momo says, clean energy forms a green economy. Yeah, very, very good. Momo, let me help you a little bit because this is a common thing that people do. So form green economy. You're talking about a specific economy, if you like, you want to say a green economy. You need the article in there, okay? Nice. Excellent, good. Green energy like forest. Well, okay, yes, you could say that, yes. Emissions, non-emissions, right? Yep, good. Keith, what is your IELTS speaking score? My IELTS speaking score is a 9. Thank you. Renewable energies. Erkan says, in my opinion, we need to think about nuclear energy because of all of these found are limited. You mean the resource is limited? I think you mean the resource is limited. Nuclear energy is becoming very popular again in the UK. I think there was a period where people were worried about the safety after Chernobyl in Russia, after Japan, what happened there. I think people were really scared about the safety. But now the politicians are telling us it's safe. And the scientists are saying the safety has got better. It is an alternative, absolutely. Not without its challenges, but absolutely. Very, very interesting. Yes, resources, Erkan. I thought, yes. Mohsen, rich countries are the biggest source of pollution. Probably, yes. Not the only ones. I think you're right, but I think it's connected, right? The environment is all connected. So things we do in different countries are all contributing. But I understand the sentiment. Yes. Hicham says, clean energy sources are the most important source that great authority focuses on to help the earth from their part. Yep, good. Chernobyl was the Ukraine. Excuse me, Alexander. You're right. Yes, it was in the Ukraine. Yes. Rich countries are a source of spreading pollution. I'm a beginner. Where do I need to start? That's not pollution. Probably this lesson is not the best place because it's quite a challenging lesson. Yes. Monica says, it's 3:34 in the morning. Wow. I'm impressed that you're here. I'm guessing you're in South America, right? Gosh, thank you so much for joining. Let me switch back to our vocabulary. So let's look at renewable energy. We've got the first one, wind. Notice the pronunciation, wind, because there's another word, which is wind, which is to wind something, but wind is right, the wind from in the sky. Collocations, wind energy, wind power, obviously, those are the same thing. Wind turbines, which if you're not familiar with, well, let's go and have a look at wind turbines. Let's have a look together. Wind turbines. Get some images up. These are wind turbines. So individual one. Oh, it doesn't show you, but here you go. So they're huge, right? They're really, really huge. Again, these are becoming very popular in the UK. We have a lot of wind in the UK, more wind than sun. So wind turbines are popular. But again, not without their problems. They cost a lot of money. They cost a lot of money to maintain. There's problems with them killing birds. So local birds just fly into them and get hit. So there are issues with them. But, you know, wind turbines. Wind farms. Well, let's have a look. Same thing, right? It's just where you put wind turbines in an organized place, right? Of course, it's not a farm as you imagine, like farm animals, but it's just a group of turbines together, okay? In the past, of course, we had windmills, right? The windmill is also, but a windmill is one word. And that's a slightly a different, well, it's a slightly different thing. But if you can see here, this, if you like, is the more traditional windmill. The windmill was traditionally, I don't think, again, I'm not an expert, but I don't think it was used to create energy for electricity. It was used to create energy for that building, for that farm, to grind the grain, to make the bread. Yeah, it was a localized thing. So it's an old-fashioned thing, a bit like you know, if you look at the windmills in Spain, going back to Cervantes and Don Quixote fighting the windmills, right? So a windmill is more of an old-fashioned word, if you like. Wind turbines are an eyesore. An eyesore, so is something not nice to look at. Whoops, to look at. Right? I saw. It makes your eye sore. Makes your eye sore. Sore means it's hurting. Ow. Ooh. I'm just acting, right? But if your eye is sore, it hurts. When we say that building is an eyesore, it means it looks horrible. It doesn't, because you've got all this nature, right, in the countryside, and then, oh, we've got a wind turbine. It's an eyesore. It looks horrible. That's another complaint about wind turbines, right, is that they are an eyesore. Boyer says, I used to work with a wind energy company. Right, so you are the expert. Please keep me in check. Let me know if I'm making mistakes. Kadim, it's important to involve eco-linguistics in study language class. Oh, that is such an interesting statement. That is so interesting. I came across a website, Kadim, the other day, and I don't know if I've still got it. I'm going to have a look if I've still got it, because I will share it with you. Have I still got it? Let me just have a look. Yeah, look at this. I've just found it. Let me share this one with you. I'll put it in the chat. And let me just show you up here. And this is, it's really, really interesting because this is by a lady called Helen, I think. And Helen promotes the use of eco-linguistics in English language and learning English. Let me just show you briefly, if you're interested, right? Eco-linguistics, learning English and caring for the environment. Helen Doran English. And she talks about the importance of the language, right? Green speak, she talks about. How we talk about the environment, right? Our choice of words. And she gives some very good examples. I'm trying to find an example. I think one of the examples she gives is we often talk about fighting climate change. And she says that's terrible because when you're fighting something, it sounds like it's not your responsibility. Something is attacking you, and so you're fighting. But actually, climate change is not attacking us. We, humans, caused climate change. We're responsible. So to say fighting climate change is misleading. It's not accurate because we're responsible. So she proposes different words instead of fighting climate change. I can't remember. She has another example, something like, what was it? Fighting pollution, fighting global warming. Yeah, to change this into stop global warming, stop pollution, right? Which means that we take responsibility. I thought that was really interesting. I went down a rabbit hole when I looked at that. I began exploring. If you want to investigate, I put the link in the chat. It's really interesting. Thank you for highlighting that. Thank you. Natalia says, when studying for IELTS, I not only learn about the language, but I also gain general knowledge. Yeah, I agree. Me too, as a teacher, right? Very, very, very interesting. Okay. Here's a comment because, can I explain this? Because this is quite funny. I know it's not appropriate. It's not appropriate, but it's funny. Because I was listening to the news this morning. People sometimes have got a problem with winds. Because the news this morning was talking about the weather, saying, they would say, we have some sunny spells today, but there'll be some problem with wind. And I had to laugh because problem with wind means, but it also means when you're farting, right? If you eat too many beans and you're farting, problem with winds. I know, not appropriate, but quite funny. I think, let's come back to the lesson. Wind. The next one, solar. So solar energy. So remember, we're focusing on renewable energy. Solar just means from the sun, basically, right? From the sun. Whoops. Solar. So it's a O. Solar. It's not solar. It's solar. Solar. However, if the next word is an E, then you will pronounce the R. Solar energy. Can you hear that? Solar energy. We pronounce the R. It's linked. Solar energy. Solar panels. We don't pronounce it. Solar panels. Solar panels. Solar heating. Don't pronounce the R. So only when there's a vowel in the next word, you will pronounce that R. Okay, solar. Solar energy, solar power. Solar panels, I'm sure you know, but just in case, let's go and explore together. Solar panels are these that you put on the roof or in the garden. Wow, look at these in the garden. My friend recently put some solar panels. He lives in Belgium and they've put solar panels on the roof. Interesting. Actually, I have a friend who lives in Brighton, which is in the south of England, and they've put solar panels. He says it's great because it gets the energy when the sun's shining. The energy goes into a battery, and that then is delivered to the community storage, and then it's redistributed. And they can earn money if they collect more energy than they use. Then their energy bill is not only zero, but they can get money because they're contributing to the community energy. So it costs money to put the solar panel up, but actually you can earn money. I think this is not a promotion. It's just what he told me. This is not professional financial advice. Solar heating, so that's when you're getting heating from the sun, solar heating from the solar panels. It's not cheap to install. So you can say to put up or to install solar panels, right? To install equals here to put up. Or to connect, you could say, to connect solar panels, to put up, to connect solar panels in this context. Good. Marcus says, in terms of climate change, we are playing with fire. Nice idiom. Very good. Very, very good. Yes. Parent loves hello from Bangladesh. The idiom of to go down a rabbit hole. Yeah, when you start discovering more and more things. Okay. Gabor says, very important problem is with renewables, particularly the solar, the energy storing. Sun is not shining at night. It's a challenge, right? Rather than a problem. I think it is a challenge, but I think there are ways of doing it. I'm sure there are, yes. Solar energy is a nice topic to discuss, but I'm sure it will take too much time to get ins and outs. Yes, I agree. Yes. Eva says we have installed the solar panels on the roof of our house. Well done. Great. Elvira, yes, you can say a solar cell as well. Yes. Okay. Brian, installing solar panels could be profitable in the long run. Maybe. I'm not an expert. Maybe. Jack says, I think solar energy is a sustainable power. Agreed. Yes. And Christine, hello, Christine. I saw some solar panels on the roof in the suburb of Edinburgh. Interesting, right? Edinburgh, because it doesn't it doesn't shine very much in Scotland, right? The sun doesn't shine very much. Christine, by the way, I just saw your email before. I will get back to you soon. Sounds very exciting. Solar power, let's look at hydropower. Hydropower, in case you don't know, is power from water. Hydropower, right? Hydra, water, hydropower. You can have hydropower energy. Hydropower normally is one word. You may see it sometimes with a hyphen. It is possible with a hyphen, but normally it's one word. Hydropower energy, hydropower plant, hydropower dam. Okay, so the hydropower plant is just the kind of the factory that organizes the energy. The dam, you probably know, but let me show you again. Let's go down the rabbit hole of Google. Let's go and have a look at a hydropower dam. This is what it looks like. It's basically a dam on a river or a lake that stops the water and controls the pressure. And that's where you get the energy. I don't know the ins and outs, but it looks like this. I don't know how it works. That's a nice expression. Somebody just used that. Let's add that. I don't know the ins and outs of hydropower. It seems to be popular in many areas. Okay, I like that because that's a nice natural thing you can say in your conversation. I don't know the ins and outs. Okay, to know the ins and outs, let me scroll down. To know the ins and outs of something is to know the details of something. It's great when you're talking about a subject where you're not an expert, like the economy or environment. You can say, well, I don't know the ins and outs, but I think it's a good thing. Yeah, I don't know the ins and outs of solar panels, but a lot of people are using them. Nice little expression, to know the ins and outs of that. Thank you for that. I forgot who it was, but somebody shared that and just reminded me. Hydropower dams, they're good, but they do need some deforestation, right? To make them, you are going to destroy some of the habitat, the natural habitat. And as Mayrush says, hydropower dam, one of the cause of the floods. In some countries, that's true. Yes. There are many hydropower in Vietnam. Right. Now, hydropower is a noun, but it's uncountable. So this is really good because it helps you and everybody. Just be aware. Because it's uncountable, you cannot say there are many hydropowers, because you can't put the S. So because you cannot count it, it's uncountable, like pollution. There is a lot of pollution. So you have to say there is a lot of hydropower, right? There is a lot of, There's a lot of hydropower in Vietnam. There's a lot of solar power in Vietnam. And I've just noticed I'm making all the mistakes, Nguyen Van, but hydropower as one word, right? Perfect. That's great. That is a big help to everybody. Thank you so much. Let's see. We've got here, I can't pronounce your name, but even the solar panel costs a fortune anyway. It is beneficial. Yes. Yes, true. It costs a fortune. To cost a fortune. Great expression. Well done. To cost a fortune. Yes. Anna is laughing about the wind joke. The water will turn the turbine and the turbine will generate electricity. Brilliant. Nice. Good. I don't know the ins and outs, but you do, which is great. Farshid, we have okay, I'm going to do the same thing, right? This is really useful. I think it's really useful for everybody. Solar, also here, let's put solar energy, is uncountable, like pollution, hydropower, solar energy. So Farshid, what do you think it should be? We have so much, right? So much. Because many you can count. Much, uncountable. Lovely grammar class. Thank you, Farshid, for sharing that. That's really, really good. Okay. Brian, very funny, very funny. Great. One more. Kalyani says, in my city, we have hydropower dam. On rainy season, we usually visit there. But, you know, I most of the time drop the ball while it comes to study about that dam. Nice. I love it. Good. Thank you very much for sharing. That's nice. Good. Okay. Hydropower. The last one, the last two we've got are zero emission. So these are this is vocabulary you will hear a lot when you're talking about climate change, about the governments. Zero emission means, so as an adjective, it's energy sources that give off no waste, no pollutants. Remember pollutants, right? The countable noun, things that pollute. For example, scientists are developing zero emission motors. Okay, so you'll hear as an adjective, zero emission motors, zero emission cars, zero emission engines, things like that. Yeah, giving no pollutants. So a lot of the Tesla electric vehicles, I don't know if they are zero emission cars yet, or if they're trying to produce zero emission cars. I don't know the ins and outs. Does anybody know? Net zero basically means the carbon we put into the air will be less, or at least no more than the carbon we take out, so that the balance is zero. So there's the carbon we take out and the carbon we put in is no more. If the carbon we put into the air is too much, that's pollution. But if it's less or no more, net zero. And the result is total greenhouse gas emissions in the air would never increase. So that's why a while ago, many countries agreed, or they aim to be net zero by 2050. Net zero as an adjective, okay, as well. Great. Good. That's my geography lesson. Vietnam commits to net zero by 2050. Great. Good. Yes, Eva. Geothermal energy also. I was just keeping it brief, but you're right. So creating energy from it's from the heat in the earth, right? If I understand correctly, that's geothermal energy. Yeah, there is more we can talk about. You're right. EV will something along the lines bring zero emission in a manner of speaking. Electric vehicles, right? Brian says, can there ever be zero emission humans? That is a very, very good question, Brian, and I'm not sure. Alexander says the problem of Tesla is that their battery is not renewable and would damage ecology after usage. And I understand the batteries are quite expensive as well, right? Layla, very good. Governments are making an effort to reduce their carbon footprint to net zero. Carbon footprint is another good collocation, right? It's how much carbon you put into the air. Yes. Erken, I totally agree. We don't need to go to Mars. We can live on Earth if we make all things which we talked about. Yes. I think it's quite ironic, and I am very, very cynical, but why are we thinking about going to the moon or to Mars? Because all we're going to do is get there and destroy it the same way we've destroyed the planet. I mean, what's the point? So we might as well look after this planet and stay here, right? It makes no sense to go to Mars, in my humble opinion. Okay. Maya says Tesla has zero emission of exhaust fumes. At least that was their goal. Ah, interesting. Okay. Morocco has lately innovated zero emission cars. It is in the process to be popular. Very interesting. Okay. Lots of professional terms. I agree. Yes. Roblox. Yes, I'm changing my job to a geography teacher. Elon Musk likes green energy. Well, he definitely likes green money. Whoops. I wonder if he's listening to us now. Well, I wonder. Yeah, I kind of doubt it. Zero emission is not possible, but decrease is possible. Yeah, I think we've already missed the 1.5 goal, right? I think it's clear that we're not going to make that. It seems we're relying on future technology that doesn't yet exist. Okay, good. Last one from Parminder. Battery-powered cars are zero emissions, but source of charging the battery is not zero emissions, as most electricity plants run over coal. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, excellent. Good. So, where am I? What's next? I don't know. When I don't know, I turn to my lesson plan. And here is my lesson plan. We've looked at vocabulary. What's next is we're going to look at listening activity. Great. I love listening. Let's do it.
Open your ears, open your mind. It's time for a listening exercise. Maybe a dictation, but without intimidation. Maybe a listening bingo that can open a new window to discover your new listening skills. So listen with me.
Okay, listen with me. Listen together. Let's do the listening together. We're going to have a look at two people. Jack and Sarah are talking about renewable energy. Okay, the question is, as you listen, the question is, how many energy sources do they mention? So listen carefully and try and count. Now, I've deliberately made this listening very difficult. So Jack and Sarah are inside a cafeteria, coffee bar, cafe. Get confused, French and English, cafe, coffee bar. And they are, so there's lots of background noise. And I kept it in because I think it's a good idea to practice listening to real situations, like in a coffee bar, where you've got people talking next to you and you can't hear perfectly. Usually my listening activities are very, very clear, right? When you listen to me, I try to speak very clearly. But this activity, there's noise. There's background noise, which means you have to focus really carefully. Okay? Good. It's a challenge. So remember, the question is, how many energy sources do they mention? Just give me a thumbs up if you're ready to listen. Got it. Some very funny comments today. Thank you, Azerbaijan. Okay, good. We've got the thumbs up. We're ready. Okay, here we go. And let's do it.
Hey Sarah, I read this thing about renewable energy yesterday. Honestly, I don't get why people are so obsessed with it.
Are you serious, Jack? It's cleaner, better for the environment, and it's the only way forward. How can you not see that?
Sure, it sounds nice in theory, but do you know how much it costs to set up solar panels? Regular people just can't afford that.
Okay, yeah, it's pricey at first, but it pays off over time. And there are programs and subsidies to make it easier for people to switch.
Oh yeah? And what about when the sun isn't shining or the wind isn't blowing? How do you get your clean energy then?
Have you ever heard of batteries? You know, nowadays we can store the energy. Plus, you can use renewables alongside other sources when needed. It's not rocket science.
So basically, we're still using coal and gas. Doesn't that defeat the whole point?
It's better than doing nothing, Jack. At least it's a step in the right direction.
A step that destroys the environment in other ways. Have you seen those wind farms? They ruin landscapes, mess up wildlife, and kill birds.
Oh, please. You're telling me wind turbines are worse than burning coal? Be serious.
I'm just saying they're not as eco-friendly as people like to think. You can't just ignore the downsides.
And you can't keep making excuses for not changing. Fossil fuels are wrecking the planet and we're running out of time.
I'm not making excuses, I'm being realistic. Renewable energy has its flaws, and people need to stop pretending it's perfect.
No one's saying it's perfect, Jack, but doing nothing is a million times worse. What's your solution then? Just keep burning coal forever?
No, but we need proper solutions, not just trendy ideas that sound good on paper.
Trendy ideas? Wow, Jack. Maybe you should start thinking about the future instead of staying stuck in the past.
And maybe you should stop acting like renewables are some kind of magic fix.
Whatever, Jack. You do you. I'll stick with progress.
Fine. Just don't expect me to jump on the bandwagon.
Trust me, I wasn't counting on it.
Right. Jack and Sarah not quite agreeing on their ideas. So the question was, how many energy sources do they mention? Just put a number down in the chat. Azerbaijan says I lost count. Mashid, 1, 2. Okay, you've got 4 there. 4. Nora says 1, 2, 3, 4. 6, 4, 6, 5, 4. 2 here. Jack is Australian, that's why. Florence, 8. Wow. Mitchell, 6. Jesse, 5. 5. 4. Yeah, Jack and Sarah seem to fall out. Yeah, they did disagree quite strongly, yes. Lure says 5. 4. 6. Okay. You've got 1, 2, 3 there. Okay. Layla, 7. Wow. Holy moly, that's a lot. So the answer here, I'm just going to go straight up and give you the answer. The answer was actually 5. Okay. So they did mention solar panels, which you got, coal, burning coal. They mentioned gas. They mentioned the wind farms or wind turbines, the same thing really. And they mentioned fossil fuels. Now, Fossil fuels I count as number 5 because fossil fuels is more than just coal and gas. I mean, coal and gas are fossil fuels, but there are other fossil fuels, petroleum, oil, etc. So I count that as a 5th one, right? 5. So those are the different energy sources, 5 of them. Now, we are going to listen again. And this time, as we listen again, I want you to do what? Fill in the boxes. So you're going to hear different collocations. Listen to the conversation again. Fill the box with the collocation you hear. So what I mean is the missing word, right? So this is the collocation. Fill the boxes with the missing word you hear. Yeah, so I mean, all of these are basically collocations, but you just want to identify the missing word. One word. The missing one word, okay? So I'll play it again and try and identify the missing word, okay? Anna says, where are you from? Me, I am from Manchester in England, in the north of England. Okay. Right, here we go. Let's do it one more time. Well, at least, but let's play.
Hey Sarah, I read this thing about renewable energy yesterday. Honestly, I don't get why people are so obsessed with it.
Are you serious, Jack? It's cleaner, better for the environment, and it's the only way forward. How can you not see that?
Sure, it sounds nice in theory, but do you know how much it costs to set up solar panels? Regular people just can't afford that.
Okay, yeah, it's pricey at first, but it pays off over time. And there are programs and subsidies to make it easier for people to switch.
Oh yeah? And what about when the sun isn't shining or the wind isn't blowing? How do you get your clean energy then?
Have you ever heard of batteries? You know, nowadays we can store the energy. Plus, you can use renewables alongside other sources when needed. It's not rocket science.
So basically, we're still using coal and gas. Doesn't that defeat the whole point?
It's better than doing nothing, Jack. At least it's a step in the right direction.
A step that destroys the environment in other ways. Have you seen those wind farms? They ruin landscapes, mess up wildlife, and kill birds.
Oh, please. You're telling me wind turbines are worse than burning coal? Be serious.
I'm just saying they're not as eco-friendly as people like to think. You can't just ignore the downsides.
And you can't keep making excuses for not changing. Fossil fuels are wrecking the planet and we're running out of time.
I'm not making excuses, I'm being realistic. Renewable energy has its flaws, and people need to stop pretending it's perfect.
No one's saying it's perfect, Jack, but doing nothing is a million times worse. What's your solution then? Just keep burning coal forever?
No, but we need proper solutions, not just trendy ideas that sound good on paper.
Trendy ideas? Wow, Jack. Maybe you should start thinking about the future instead of staying stuck in the past.
And maybe you should stop acting like renewables are some kind of magic fix.
Whatever, Jack. You do you. I'll stick with progress.
Fine, just don't expect me to jump on the bandwagon.
Trust me, I wasn't counting on it.
Poor old Sarah. I think Jack's quite funny. Right, excellent, good. Really, really good. I'm going to go back to where you had your original ideas. So, number 2, a lot of you got it pays off. It pays off. For number 1, a lot of you got way. Number 3, a lot of you got point. Yep. And point. Number 4, up. A lot of you got up. Number 5, I think most of you got wrecking or rocking. Very interesting. Wrecking or rocking? Wrecking. Okay, and number 6, we've got fix, magic fix. Fix. You've got ranking for number 5. Interesting. Wrecking and fix. We also got a fix here and a fix here. Okay. Interesting. Very, very good. Interesting ideas. Okay. I'm gonna play it again. And as I play it, I'll write in the answers so you can see them as it happens. Okay? Let's do it.
Hey Sarah, I read this thing about renewable energy yesterday. Honestly, I don't get why people are so obsessed with it.
Are you serious, Jack? It's cleaner, better for the environment, and it's the only way forward. How can you not see that?
Sure, it sounds nice in theory, but do you know how much it costs to set up solar panels? Regular people just can't afford that.
Okay, yeah, it's pricey at first, but it pays off over time. And there are programs and subsidies to make it easier for people to switch.
Oh yeah? And what about when the sun isn't shining or the wind isn't blowing? How do you get your clean energy then?
Have you ever heard of batteries? You know, nowadays we can store the energy. Plus you can use renewables alongside other sources when needed. It's not rocket science.
So basically, we're still using coal and gas. Doesn't that defeat the whole point?
It's better than doing nothing, Jack. At least it's a step in the right direction.
A step that destroys the environment in other ways. Have you seen those wind farms? They ruin landscapes, mess up wildlife, and kill birds.
Oh, please. You're telling me wind turbines are worse than burning coal? Be serious.
I'm just saying they're not as eco-friendly as people like to think. You can't just ignore the downsides.
And you can't keep making excuses for not changing. Fossil fuels are wrecking the planet and we're running out of time.
I'm not making excuses, I'm being realistic. Renewable energy has its flaws, and people need to stop pretending it's perfect.
No one's saying it's perfect, Jack, but doing nothing is a million times worse. What's your solution then? Just keep burning coal forever?
No, but we need proper solutions, not just trendy ideas that sound good on paper.
Trendy ideas? Wow, Jack. Maybe you should start thinking about the future instead of staying stuck in the past.
And maybe you should stop acting like renewables are some kind of magic fix.
Whatever, Jack. You do you. I'll stick with progress.
Fine. Just don't expect me to jump on the bandwagon.
Trust me, I wasn't counting on it.
Great. I wonder if Jack and Sarah will be going for coffee tomorrow. Maybe not. Okay, well done. Brilliant. You got it. So the only way forward, it pays off. To pay off, meaning that it compensates. It's worth it. Defeat the whole point means it goes against the whole idea. Mess up, to destroy, if you like. Wrecking, to destroy as well. And fix, a magic solution. Yep. So solution. Maybe I can just add this in to make it a bit clearer. Destroying. Destroy. Defeat the whole point basically means a waste of time. You're doing something that destroys what you've done already. Waste of time. It pays off. So the idea here is compensates. Compensates. The only way forward is the only way. It's the only path, but it's more abstract. It's the only the only way forward. The only path forward. The only route forward, but in an abstract way, right? Okay. Excellent. Good. So there were all the answers. What we'll do a final time is we'll listen to the whole thing. What I'm going to do this time is you can listen and read at the same time. I'm going to take off the background noise. That might just help you focus a bit more, and you'll see the difference, how much easier it is when you have no background noise and also when you're reading. And then if there's any words we don't know, keywords, I'll point those out. Let's do it. Let's have a look and listen the final time.
Hey Sarah, I read this thing about renewable energy yesterday. Honestly, I don't get why people are so obsessed with it.
Are you serious, Jack? It's cleaner, better for the environment, and it's the only way forward. How can you not see that?
Sure, it sounds nice in theory, but do you know how much it costs to set up solar panels? Regular people just can't afford that.
Okay, yeah, it's pricey at first, but it pays off over time. And there are programs and subsidies to make it easier for people to switch.
Oh yeah? And what about when the sun isn't shining or the wind isn't blowing? How do you get your clean energy then?
Have you ever heard of batteries? You know, nowadays we can store the energy. Plus, you can use renewables alongside other sources when needed. It's not rocket science.
So basically, we're still using coal and gas. Doesn't that defeat the whole point?
It's better than doing nothing, Jack. At least it's a step in the right direction.
A step that destroys the environment in other ways. Have you seen those wind farms? They ruin landscapes, mess up wildlife, and kill birds.
Oh, please. You're telling me wind turbines are worse than burning coal? Be serious.
I'm just saying they're not as eco-friendly as people like to think. You can't just ignore the downsides.
And you can't keep making excuses for not changing. Fossil fuels are wrecking the planet and we're running out of time.
I'm not making excuses, I'm being realistic. Renewable energy has its flaws, and people need to stop pretending it's perfect.
No one's saying it's perfect, Jack, but doing nothing is 1,000,000 times worse. What's your solution then? Just keep burning coal forever?
No, but we need proper solutions, not just trendy ideas that sound good on paper.
Trendy ideas? Wow, Jack. Maybe you should start thinking about the future instead of staying stuck in the past.
And maybe you should stop acting like renewables are some kind of magic fix.
Whatever, Jack. You do you. I'll stick with progress.
Fine, just don't expect me to jump on the bandwagon.
Trust me, I wasn't counting on it.
Okay, good. Okay, I think, let me just come down. Okay. Erkan, you have to leave, no problem. Good to see you, take care. Wrecking and rocking, you confuse, yeah? They sound similar, right? Wrecking, rocking. Defeat the point, good question. Yeah, what does that mean exactly? Doesn't that defeat the point? So I'm trying to think the best way to explain that. To defeat the point. The point is the idea that you have. So to defeat the point is to kind of destroy the idea. Let me see if I can give an example. So I'm trying to think, but an example. So imagine, well, in their case, they're saying, we're going to use wind energy and coal. We can use both. And Jack says, but if you're still using coal, the whole idea of improving the environment is destroyed because you're still using coal. You're destroying the first idea, defeating the point, right? You're kind of destroying the first idea. You're defeating the point. I hope that makes sense. Let me know if not. To mess up and to wreck, to destroy. Good, exactly. I thought she was going to say it's not a magic bullet. Yes, right. A magic fix is a magic bullet. It's a very similar idea. So that fix, a magic fix, is a solution, right? A magic solution. You can also say a magic bullet, a silver bullet. A silver bullet, a magic bullet. Wait a minute. This is where I need to double check. Dun, 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 dun. A silver bullet is a quick solution. Do we say magic bullet? Yeah, a medicine or remedy for with specific. Okay. A very specific solution to a problem. Magic bullet, silver bullet. So both of those. Okay, a magic bullet. No, bullet. Or a silver bullet. After last week's black horse, do you remember the black horse and the dark horse? I just want to make sure we've got it right. Okay, great. Milda, thank you for that. That's great. Magic bullet, silver bullet. Have you ever heard? What does she say? Have you ever heard of? Ever heard of? Yeah. But so the have you can drop. In spoken conversation, we often drop the auxiliary. Right? Instead of saying, do you want? You say, you want to go? Have you ever heard of? Ever heard of? We often drop the have. Rocket science means that it's not that hard. Exactly. Yes, it's not rocket science. That's a very good expression, actually. Let's put it in. Where was it? Was it this? It's not rocket science. Yes. It's not rocket science. Usually used in the negative. Exactly, saying it's not too difficult. It's not very difficult. Excellent. Good. Okay. This is very helpful. I thank you so much. Okay, Pierre, you're very welcome. Great. Bandwagon, I'm going to explain later, Lillian. I'll explain later the bandwagon. Yeah, also, same question. Okay, I'll explain that later because that's coming up in a moment. Make free cost lectures. Okay, well, you have YouTube. You have 400 plus videos on YouTube, my friend. Okay. A magic pill, rather. You could also say a magic pill. Yes, magic bullet, magic pill. Dark sheep. Black sheep. That one, Alexander, is black sheep of the family. Dark horse, black sheep. Right, okay. Where am I? Let me check in. Listening activity. I'm going to move on from listening. Actually, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. We're going to move on to some idioms. Before the idioms, have we got time? Okay, I just want to share something with you, actually. The live lessons on YouTube are about 2 hours long, right? As you know, you're here with me. What I've also done now is I collect the PDF and I make a pronunciation file of the PDF. It's a short 15-minute pronunciation file of the PDF of the live lesson, so the one we've been studying, and I add a quiz and a story, and I've put that into the vocabulary vault. And I just want to let you know about it. Let me just share this with you. In the website Keith Speaking Academy, in the online courses area, you'll find this one, Build Your Vocabulary, the Vocabulary Vault. And here, if you're forgetting new words and don't know how to use them, you can get everything. Let me just show you what it is. It's very, very simple. It's to help you use words easily in your English conversations. Basically, you have what you get pronunciation files. There are now 20 pronunciation, MP3 and PDF. You get the quizzes and storybooks to review the vocabulary. So you listen, repeat and practice, you test yourself, then you read, listen and review to really learn all the vocabulary from the live lessons. Because watching the 2-hour repeat is quite a long time. With this, it's much, much quicker, right? So you can get these. There are bonuses. There's a free ebook. There are 7 visualizations. You can download everything into your podcast player. And then you can do it and you can have a look here. The course price is $47, but I'm going to put in an offer for you guys on YouTube. If you want to go in to the Vocabulary Vault and put in the coupon code CHEAP, right? CHAP, very obvious, right? If you use the coupon code, use the coupon code CHEAP and you'll get it at a reduced price. CHEAP, easy to remember. So if you want to check out the Vocabulary Vault, it can boost your vocabulary. It's on the Key Speaking Academy. Go to the courses there. You can actually go to all the courses. You can see, you'll find it here, the Vocabulary Vault. Have a look. And if you think it's right for you, then just press join now. And when it says on the next page, it'll say add coupon code. That is where you put in CHEAP, okay, CHEAP, and apply, and you'll get the code. You'll get the discount. So just to let you know, if you want to carry on studying after the live lesson, but in a very short, easy, simple way to boost your vocabulary, the Vocabulary Vault is it. That's the way forward. It's not the only way forward, but it is a way forward. Great. Burns, thank you for sharing that. That's excellent. Daniela says, I use it. Top notch. Great. Like it. Lovely. Good. Glad that it's useful. Excellent. Now then, let's move on to those idioms.
I want some idioms, and I want them now. I want some idioms, but I don't know how to learn them, how to remember them. All I know, and I really think so, is that I want some idioms now. I want some idioms, and I want them now. I want some idioms, but I don't know how to learn them, how to remember them. All I know, and I really think so, is that I want some idioms now.
Brilliant. Idioms. Okay, good. Florence, thank you for your comment. Florence says Vocabulary Vault is great. Christine says as well, excellent. Layla says, indeed, a gold mine. Wow. I'm not sure if it's a gold mine, but thank you so much. That's great. I'm pleased that they are useful. So idioms, I want you to see if you can guess the idioms, okay? I'm going to show you in a picture and see if you can guess. Here is number 1, the first idiom. What is this? And you can type in the chat. Maya, I cannot sing. Not very well. Oh, wow. I wanna. That's interesting. Nice one, Alexander. Assalamu alaikum, Dordona. Nice to see you. Oh, interesting, Eva. Interesting. Right. Okay. Let me stop us there. I'm going to stop where Suman Khan, a drop in the ocean. Let me show you the answer to this one. So a lot of you can see it's a drop. It's a drop in water, in the sea, in the ocean. What's the correct idiom? The correct idiom actually is a drop in the ocean. So it's drop. The color doesn't matter. Because the ocean's blue, I had to make it a different color or you wouldn't see it. But it's a drop in the, not a, but the, and it's ocean. Not water, not sea, ocean. A drop in the ocean. A drop in the ocean. If you can say it as one sound, it's even better, right? So instead of saying a drop in the ocean, say a drop in the ocean. 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 It's a drop in the ocean. What does that mean? It means it's a very small amount or insignificant amount. Okay? For example, switching off one light bulb feels like a drop in the ocean when it comes to tackling climate change. A drop in the ocean. Tackling, do you remember the eco-linguistic friendly language? Tackling climate change? Let's change that. Let's change to stopping. We're not tackling, we're stopping climate change. So switching off a light bulb, right? I just switch off the light bulb. Well, it's nothing. It's insignificant. It's such a small amount. It's important, but it feels like a drop in the ocean, a small amount. From the picture, right? You can see when you've got that drop in the ocean, it just means it's a really small amount. Okay, well done. Number 2, what is this? Marcus, that's a good explanation. So this is the bandwagon you were asking about. This is the bandwagon. Yes, it is. Oh, Irene, that's a good expression. Yes, it is a party in the card. Very good. Jump on, jump into. Interesting, Victoria. Well done, Maya. Backwagon or bandwagon? It could well be. I've never been to Bremen, but it could be. Interesting, Eva. Okay, I'm going to stop with Foucault. Jump on the bandwagon, and this is to jump on the bandwagon. So the bandwagon, as you can see from that picture, right? The bandwagon is just it's the wagon where The people are having a party, if you like, and somebody is jumping on. Now, to jump on the bandwagon means to join an activity that has become popular. Do you remember Jack and Sarah? Jack and Sarah were arguing, and Jack was saying, well, you know, all this talk about wind energy is just pretty words, right? Sounds good, but it's not realistic. And he says, I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon, right? Just because it's popular doesn't mean it's good. I'm not going to join that. I don't think it's a good idea. I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon. So to join an activity that has become popular. For example, 20 years ago, no one was worried about recycling. Now everyone is jumping on the bandwagon. Jumping on the bandwagon can sometimes be seen as negative because you're following a fashion without thinking about it, but it's not necessarily negative, right? Here, it's quite positive, right? Everybody is jumping on the bandwagon because they're following something that has become popular. So it can be positive, but just be aware, possibly English and American people can use it with a negative idea, right? Almost ironic, almost. So just be careful with it. But jump on the bandwagon. Now you know what it is. That's it. Excellent. Good. Okay. Let's have a look at, let's take that off and let's take Fakur off. Number 3. What is this? Anna, join the vocabulary vault as a start, and maybe the gold course if you're intermediate. Any ideas? What's happening here? What can you see? Some nice ideas. Okay, I'm going to stop here with Saliha Hilmi. Go green, because the answer here, in fact, is to go green. I was just going to put the sign go, but I thought I'll make it more difficult for you. I need to challenge you because you're too clever, everybody. So I had to challenge you. To go green, meaning to adopt or to begin environmentally friendly practices, particularly with companies and businesses. We talk about businesses going green. Many companies are trying to go green by reducing their carbon emissions. You can say a person is going green, I want to go green, but usually it's companies, businesses, countries, bigger ideas, right? To go green. Now, there were some interesting expressions. The grass is always greener, means things are better. I'm seeing what other walk. There were some other ones. Let me just check. Walking on the right path. A green carbon footprint. Carbon footprint, yes. Green, not really, because it's kind of a redundancy. It's already green, a carbon footprint. Well, not exactly. But it's not, I don't think we normally say that. Carbon footprint, yes, but go green here. Yeah, there were other ideas, but not quite there. Okay, that was number 3. The last one is coming up. What is, not that one. Salia, let me take you off. The last one. Some of you got this, but let's see what you think. The last one here. Mashid, these idioms are... well, I think actually these idioms today can both be speaking and writing. By and large, idioms are more speaking, but I think the ones we have today can be writing as well. Oh la la. Sounds like Bob Dylan, Roblox. Blowing in the wind.
No.
This is quite challenging, yes. Oh, carbon emission, interesting. Hello, Juana, Maria. Aha. Right, I'm going to stop with Gokdud, blow hot and cold, because your answer absolutely is to blow hot and cold. So the idea is to frequently change opinion or feeling about something. So we often say the government blows hot and cold. They're changing their idea quite frequently. You can say a person is, they are blowing hot and cold. Sometimes, maybe you ask your wife or your husband, do you want to go out? Yeah, let's go for dinner. No, let's stay at home. No, let's go to the restaurant. No, let's cook at home. No, wait a minute. They are blowing hot and cold. Make up your mind. Don't blow hot and cold. They're blowing hot and cold, right? They're switching hot, cold. It's that idea. You're changing your mind continually. So often with governments, but it can be people. Example here, some governments blow hot and cold when it comes to taking action on climate policies. Yeah. Sometimes they're in favor, then the next year they're against it, then they're in favor, then they don't know. Similar idiom, it's not the same, but similar, is to be in two minds, right? To be in two minds is when you're undecided. To blow hot and cold means you're changing your mind a lot, right? So similar, but not the same. Moving the goalposts. Similar, yeah, Julia, similar, yes. Okay, excellent. It often becomes greenwashing when companies announce that they will go green. Yes, that's true, yes. They're just jumping on the bandwagon in a negative sense, right? Like sit on the fence, similar, Victoria. Yep, to be in two minds, to sit on the fence. Similar idea. Brian says, I always blow hot and cold on deciding which Lego sets I should buy. I just can't make up my mind. Very interesting. You're a Lego fan. That's very interesting. Excellent. Good. Okay. Where are we? Let's find out. Idioms. What's coming up next? Oh, it's the lucky draw result. Ah, yes, we must do this. As I said at the start of the lesson, last week with Black Friday, I said that I'll do a lucky draw and that the winner will win a live mock speaking test with me. It'll be 30 minutes. I'll do the mock test and I'll give you feedback. If the winner is not doing IELTS, I'll just do a regular speaking test. The participants or the entrants are all the people who bought a course on Thursday, the 28th of November. I don't know if you're here, the same people. Maybe you are. I'm not sure. But I'm going to choose a winner right now. So let me just get all of the names. I had all of the names. And let me see, where are you? All the people who entered. This was last Thursday. There's quite a lot. Okay. So, okay, let me kind of zoom in maybe on this. These are the names. These are the people who joined in. Your name will appear twice if you bought 2 courses. Yahagrami bought 4 courses, so he gets more opportunity. These are all the people. I'm going to click, and then we're going to find out who is the winner. Drum roll. Yes, please. Can we have a drum roll? I don't have a drum roll. I've only got an applause. Music, please. Here we go. Let's do it. Let's find out who is going to be the winner. Hooray! Mohammed Majgour, if I pronounced it right, well done. You are the winner. You have won that mock test with me. Let me close that. Excellent. So you are the winner. You can do a mock test with me. I have your email, of course, because you're a student with us. I will send you an email and that's it. It can be an IELTS mock test or a general mock test. Or if you just want a conversation, whatever you like, we can do it for 30 minutes. I will contact you. So Mohammed, congratulations. Well done. Well done. Fabian, help me with the clapping. Da, 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 da. Lovely. Congrats. Well done. Excellent. Nice. With that, let's move on. Let's move on to our next activity. It's a model answer. That's right. I was just coming up because that was here. Sample part 2 model answer. So part 2 in IELTS speaking, we're going to look at a model answer for that. Before watching, so the model answer is based on this question. Describe an environmental issue Describe an environmental issue you care about. Now, this is me, right? Before watching, can you guess which environmental issue I will talk about? Can you guess? Just put in the chat if you can guess what it is. Let's see. Mashallah, Mohammed, lovely. Huge congrats. Well done, Mohammed. Yes. Nice. Lucky you. Love it. IELTS speaking. The draw was actually, it was last week for people who bought a course on Black Friday. Okay, let's have a look. What do you think? Natalia thinks I'm going to talk about climate change. April, renewable energy. Mashte, global warming. Fabian thinks pollution. Victoria says air or water pollution. Pollution. Payman says climate change. Mariam, biodiversity. All the animals, maybe. Sound pollution. Yeah. Have you met my neighbours? I'm only joking if you're watching. Ecology problems. Right, good. Climate change, maybe. Global warming. Another one for diversity. What do you think? Air pollution. Although it's not a big problem where I live. I'm very lucky here on the coast. Ibrahim also thinks it could be wind. Solar. Okay. And another one, Roblox also thinks solar. Let's watch and find out if you guessed correctly. Here we go. Here is the model answer to this question. IELTS Speaking Part 2. Okay, let me bring up here. Let's watch. So yeah, when it comes to describing an environmental issue I care about, I'd like to talk about renewable energy. So many countries in the world now are moving towards net zero emissions. And it seems that a key way of doing this is substituting fossil fuels for renewable energy sources. I guess, it seems clear that fossil fuels are bad for the environment, causing a lot of pollution. And that's why there's a lot of research now on creating other sources of energy. I think two aspects that have direct relevance for me are solar energy and wind energy. So first of all, wind energy. Well, there are many wind farms in the UK, and the government is investing in this area. I know there are downsides, like the wind turbines are an eyesore, but I think, this is something that we'll get used to. And we just have to invest in new technologies like this. Secondly, solar energy is becoming more popular in the UK. More and more people are putting these solar panels on their roof to get energy that can then be stored in batteries and used when there's no sunshine. The government are offering subsidies to incentivize people to do this. And it seems now a lot of people are jumping on the bandwagon, which is a good thing. So, yeah, I honestly don't think there are any simple solutions to the climate change problem. But this is an environmental issue that I care about. Okay, so well done. Those of you, quite a few of you guessed it, right? Quite a few of you got it absolutely right. It was... Oops, let me just share with you. It was renewable energies, including solar and wind energy. Okay, so well done, those of you who got it spot on. Now then, what we're going to do is watch again. And here, I would like you to watch again and note any useful collocations. I'm going to add subtitles to this just to help you, but watch again and just notice any useful collocations that crop up. Okay, just give me a quick thumbs up when you're ready to watch again. I worry I go too fast sometimes. Okay. Ready? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go in. Okay, watch again and just make a note in the chat of any useful collocations. Here we go. So yeah, when it comes to describing an environmental issue I care about, I'd like to talk about renewable energy. So many countries in the world now are moving towards net zero emissions. And it seems that a key way of doing this is substituting fossil fuels for renewable energy sources. I guess, it seems clear that fossil fuels are bad for the environment, causing a lot of pollution. And that's why there's a lot of research now on creating other sources of energy. I think two aspects that have direct relevance for me are solar energy and wind energy. So first of all, wind energy. Well, there are many wind farms in the UK, and the government is investing in this area. I know there are downsides, like the wind turbines are an eyesore, but I think, this is something that we'll get used to. And we just have to invest in new technologies like this. Secondly, solar energy is becoming more popular in the UK. More and more people are putting these solar panels on their roof to get energy that can then be stored in batteries and used when there's no sunshine. The government are offering subsidies to incentivize people to do this. And it seems now a lot of people are jumping on the bandwagon, which is a good thing. So, yeah, I honestly don't think there are any simple solutions to the climate change problem. But this is an environmental issue that I care about. Right. There you go. Okay. Excellent. We had lots of, you've been posting as we go along, different collocations, net zero emissions, zero emission. Yep. Renewable energy sources. Very good. Fossil fuels came up. Lot of pollution. It seems clear that. Very nice. That's very nice. That's a good kind of connector or a discourse marker, we would say, like a signpost. Nice. And again, first of all, I use some really nice connectors, right? Even if I say so myself. Fossil fuels, solar energy. I would like to talk about another signpost. Signposts are really useful, right? In your part 2 answer. Downsides, disadvantages. Substituting, replacing. Yeah. Sidika, wind turbines. Good. Get used to, right? Yeah, Zara, Razai, wind turbines are an eyesore. Lovely. Solo or solar? Subsidies, offering subsidies. Very, very good. Nora says net zero emission. Wind farms jumping on the bandwagon. Marjo, to invest in. Very nice. To store in batteries. Excellent. Good. Really, really good. Excellent. Let's just go through together. And I'll just pick out some of the key ones. When it comes to, is a really nice connector that you can just do here. I'm just going to put these in blue because it might help you just identify. When it comes to it seems clear that, right, is a nice one as well. First of all, is another one, is a good one. So this was quite well structured. Secondly, another connector. You don't always have to use these. And that, yeah, it's not a connector, but a nice kind of conclusion. This is an environmental issue I care about. Kind of repeating the question at the end. That's the kind of the summary. Collocations, renewable energy, we've talked about. Net zero emissions. I've talked about moving towards or having a goal of net zero emissions, substituting fossil fuels. So substituting something for something. Let's put that in another color. Substituting something for something else. Fossil fuels, renewable energy sources, we've kind of had. Fossil fuels again, causing a lot of pollution, causing pollution, provoking or causing pollution. Have relevance for me is a nice expression. This has relevance for me, or this has direct relevance for me. Solar energy and wind energy, two collocations that we've been looking at today. Wind farms on the same topic. Downsides is, just in case you don't know, is the disadvantages. Disadvantages. An eyesore that we talked about. That's one word, an eyesore. Wind turbines we talked about as well. To invest in something, good. Solar panels, again, we talked about. To offer subsidies. So subsidy is basically financial support. It's money from the government. It's either money or a discount, but it's a way of financial support from the government to incentivize people, to motivate people, right? Jumping on the bandwagon, but here in a positive sense. Yeah, and that takes us through to the end. Awesome, excellent. So there we have it. There we have the model answer. Let me check in with you. I thought this video is streaming. It is streaming. It is. It's live now. Absolutely. But it's also recorded. Yeah. You can also watch it later if you like. Moving towards means transition to. Yes, exactly, Mashid. Yes, exactly. Second, also necessary. Secondly, or also. Unnecessary, both. It depends. You can say secondly, or secondly, also. It depends on the context. I think you're right. You don't need both, but it's not wrong to use both. If you want to really emphasize, then you can. Yeah. Incentivize, incentive or incentivize? Incentivize. So incentive is the noun, to give an incentive. The verb is to incentivize someone. Yeah. Subsidies can be a fund. It depends on the government system. Not necessarily, but they could be. Subsidies are grants. They can be, but again, not necessarily. They come in different formats. They can be money, discount, having no tax. It can be a grant. It can be a fund. There are different ways. Yes. Kahoot. Yes, Eva. Let's get down to business. Let's not mess around, right? Let's get down to real business. We've been looking at, thank you there. We've been looking at the sample answer. We're going to finish up today with a game of Kahoot. We've just got enough time. Kahoot is where we test your speed and knowledge or memory of new words that we've learned. 4 questions, multiple choice. Let's do it. Let's get in. Let me log in and we can play together. You can watch me as I'm coming in to my Kahoot account. Here we go. Here's my library. IELTS Speaking Evaluation. No, it's not that one. It's a different one. It's a different profile. Here we go. Environment. Whoops. Don't show you that. I think that shows you the answers, right? Whoops. So you need to go, guys, you need to go to kahoot.it. You can download the Kahoot app on your phone if you like. And then the pin, you put in your name, you put in your pin, and it comes up here. This is the pin. You can scan the code if you like. If you're watching this on TV, you can just scan the QR code. If I make it the right size. So the pin is 8319246. Thank you, Burns. If you could just share the link and the pin, that would be awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Layla, for your comments. That's great. Thank you so much. Maisha, I'm living in Spain. I do not work in Bangladesh. No. Oh, even over the video call. No, that was not me. No. Okay, so put in your name, put in your pin, the pin. The live will finish in about 10 minutes. Yeah, it's a little bit late today. I understand. We've gone over a bit, but it's such a big topic, right? Okay, I'll just give you a few more seconds for you guys to get in. If you can't get in, you can always put your answer in the chat and I'll still see it. Okay, we're still getting that set up. Let me just remind you, as you're getting into Kahoot, just to remind you that at the end of this, right, you can go to the website. So the website is the Keith Speaking Academy. I am on Facebook and Instagram as well. But if you go to the website Keith Speaking Academy, you'll see all the IELTS speaking tips and resources here. Free live lessons is where later in about 2 or 3 hours, you can download the PDF from today's session, and I'll upload this. There are more free lessons from all topics, every single topic you can imagine, even geography is there. If you want even more, there are online courses. The one I can suggest to you is the Vocabulary Vault. I mean, the gold course is awesome, I think. Vocabulary Vault is the one that's based on the YouTube live lessons. You can find out all the information there and use the coupon code CHEAP, CHEAP, right? Make sure you do that so you can get a discount. Okay, let's play the game. Let's go straight into Kahoot. I think we've got a lot more people now. Okay, we're going to start. First question coming up. Oh, just in time, Fabi. Environment. Which is the odd one out? So which is different? Wind, solar, hydropower, gas. Which one is different? Wind, solar, hydropower, or gas? You've got 30 seconds. Well done. The answer is gas. Yes, absolutely. Gas is different because it's a fossil fuel. The others are renewable energy sources. That wasn't an English question, right? That was a real environment geography question. Sorry about that. But let's see how you did. Oh, Aziz is up in first place. Pesari Gadir second. Isor is in third. Excellent. Question number 2. Recycling is good, but it's just a drop in the lake, water, ocean, sea. Recycling is good, but it's just a drop in the lake, water, ocean, or sea. Maisha Raman, I'm afraid I'm not doing speaking mock tests individually due to time problems. Oh, nice. The vast majority of you got it right? It's a drop in the ocean, not sea. It's always in the ocean. I don't know why. Ocean and sea, very similar things, but this one is a drop in the ocean. A drop in the ocean. Let's see what the score looks like now. Ooh, Aziz has dropped into second. Pesare Gadir is up in first. Isor is still third. Go Green fourth. Oh, look out. Ever's coming in fifth place. Nora, you were the highest climber. Well done. Question 3. Wind blank are good, but they look terrible. Energy, turbines, power, farm. Be careful with this one. Wind blank are good, but they look terrible. Energy, turbines, power, or farm. This is a tricky one. You need to think about the grammar. The answer was exactly wind turbines are good. Okay. A few people put energy. Aha. But wind energy is good, right? It's uncountable. Wind energy is good. Here it's are. So it can't be energy. It can't be power or farm. It has to be turbines. It would be wind farms with an S are good. But farm, no. So grammatically, it can only be turbines. Let's see how we're doing. Oh, very little has changed. Alessia came into fifth place, but the rest are the same. Pesari Gadir, you're still first. Aziz second, Isor third. Last question. We never know what he's thinking. He's always blank, hot and cold. Thinning, blowing, breathing, or speaking. We never know what he's thinking. He's always thinning. It should be thinking, sorry. Blowing, breathing, or speaking, hot and cold. Sorry, the red one is a typo. It should be thinking. And the answer was blowing. Yes, absolutely. He's always blowing hot and cold, meaning he's always changing his mind, changing his opinion. He's always blowing hot and then cold. Excellent. It's time for the podium. Third place, Isor, well done. Second place, Aziz. It looks like it's the same. Pesari Gadir, well done. Awesome, absolutely brilliant. Well done. You did a great job. Congratulations on winning the Kahoot. And that brings us to the end of our session today. Thank you all of you so much for joining. Just to recap, we've been looking at the environment. We've looked at all different areas, generally from biodiversity to energy to pollution to overpopulation, all of those different aspects. We've focused in on renewables and the vocabulary for that. We've also looked at a listening activity. Looked at a listening activity? We've also listened. We've also done a listening activity. All the teachers are going, what? We've done a listening activity. Sarah and Jack fighting and arguing about renewables. And hopefully you've helped focus on listening when there's background noise as well, and focus on collocations. We've done idioms like blowing hot and cold, changing your mind. We had the lucky draw. Congratulations to Mohammed. I will be contacting you by email very soon. We did that model answer, the sample answer of an environmental issue you care about, and the importance of connectors helping you give a clear answer. And well done to Pesari Gadir in winning the Kahoot. That's very, very nice. Good. So that's it. Just to remind you, so the PDF, this PDF over here, I will be updating and just adapting. It takes us a few hours to organize this and put it on the website. But then later, if you go to the website, you can find it there. Go to Keith Speaking Academy, go to the free live lessons. You'll be able to download it here. And if you want to do more with me, go to the online courses and you can study and discover the different courses that we have available there for you. They're all here with more information to help you. If you need, do get in touch. You can contact us. Maybe Burns, you could leave the team email address to let people know if they want to get in touch. That's it. Now, 2025 is coming. Every Saturday I make YouTube videos. Those are continuing. I'm going to say a big happy Christmas if you're celebrating. Merry Christmas to all of you celebrating. I won't see you before. Next year, 2025, I'm going to change things a little bit. The live lessons, I'm going to change a bit. At the moment, I think they're okay. They're good, but they're very, very long. So I want to do something different in 2025. I won't tell you right now, but it'll be something still very useful, still very exciting, but a little bit different. I will let you know in the coming month what that will look like, but it'll be a different thing, not the same live lesson. But don't worry, I'm always here. I'm on YouTube. The Saturday lessons are always there, and more stuff coming. 2025, I think, will be an interesting year. That's it. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to leave you with a little bit of music, something to go out on, maybe this one over here. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care, everybody. All the best. Bye-bye.
In the town of Glossop, where the stars align, Tom and Emily are friends for all time. Manchester lights,
Thank you.
they paint their dreams. Stargazing lovers, or so it seems.
Thank you, Meral.
Watchful eyes under
Merry Christmas in advance, everybody. Oh, it's very kind. You're welcome, Lillian. Dominica, nice to see you. And you too, mate.
TV shows in a popcorn gaze. History whispers through endless days.
Watchful eyes.
Laughs, they share the right in each other's arms. They forever reside.
Thank you, Leila.
David's shadow
Thank you, Abraham. Good to see you.
in the past. Tension in the air.
Cheers, May.
Cast. But love is a shield, a fortress strong. Together they stand.
Yes, Roblox. Yes, live lesson next Thursday in the Gold Course. Absolutely. Yes. Live lessons will be the same in the Gold Course.
Love evolves where the heart never lies.
See you soon, Christine. Let's hope so.
Kenya, where the echoes roar. Together they dance, their spirits soar. Hopeful notes play the final song.
Thank you.
It seems our past, they both belong.
Thanks, Ginelo.
Facing the future, hand in hand, with watchful eyes, together they stand.
The music is called Watchful Eyes. It's based on the novel that's inside the Gold Course, and the song is by Gabby Gotts, who I asked to write the song for me. Anyway, that's it. Take care, everybody. All the best. Have a great Christmas and New Year. Bye-bye.